Do not hire this guy. I repeat, do not hire this guy. Don't make him a co-founder. Don't make him an advisor. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you why and how to deal with it. This video, the purpose, the reason I'm recording this is I'm watching founders make mistakes when it comes to co-founders and advisors. And I think that you can be avoiding a lot of issues and trouble along the way, because how you build your teams is really important to the longevity of a startup, as well as investors. Investors are always going to be looking at your co-founder team, how you configured it, who does what, who's who in the zoo, as well as advisors make a difference. So I'm going to show you how to configure the ultimate co-founder and advisory board. I'm going to walk you through step by step. I got a 4-quadrant model to help you with. And that's going to lead us to how to deal with this type of individual. Before we continue, my name is Ed Kang. I'm a 7-time funded founder, as well as I have 2 exits, and that just pretty much means I failed a bunch of times, sometimes catastrophically, and I use this YouTube channel to help founders avoid the same costly mistakes, the heartache and the headaches. And you're going to make mistakes, but maybe just minimize them enough so that you have a better chance for success in the long term. Right now, I function as the general partner for a late-stage accelerator fund and organization development consultancy out of Shanghai, China. I'm also the general partner for a venture studio and an alternative funding accelerator here in North America. And I'm the lead advisor at startups.com, which is an online accelerator. So I've seen a few things, and these are from my own personal lessons. And let's just jump right into it. And I'm going to show you what to do about this situation. And just keep this individual in mind as we go through. Here, we've got the co-founder advisor quadrant model. And what I want to show you are the 4 main functions or roles that you want to be looking at as far as a co-founder is concerned. And then you want to, take that and begin to build your advisory board to fill out and to complement what you have as far as a team is concerned. So in every great startup team, there are 4 people or 3 people or 2 people filling these 4 roles. And it works exactly like this. So first is the hacker. The hacker is the tech individual, not necessarily the CTO, although the CTO is a hacker, but there are non-technical people that can be hackers as well. They just know how to hack technology and MVP things up, prototype it, all that stuff. So you might be a hacker, but you're not a computer science major. You're not a developer, but you know enough to hack together some WordPress and put some code together, maybe do some low code to no code type stuff, and you hack together an MVP, and that's enough to get you started. That's fine. Someone has to be the hacker. They're on the keyboard, they're shipping product, they're always looking there. They know how to adjust and iterate the product. The hacker is the person. So this is the technical individual, but not necessarily a developer, what have you, CTO type, okay? The next is the hippie. The hippie is what I consider the individual that carries the vision and values. And that is keeping everybody on track, North Star, South Star, the identity, the ethos of the organization. Often CEOs are hippies because they start off with a burning passion, a problem they want to solve, and they're responsible for making sure that everybody's pointed in the right direction. Everyone's solving the problem. They're obsessed with customer service and making customers happy. The hippie, as well as culture. They bring the company together and say, all right, we need to love each other. Let's sing Kumbaya. Let's hug some trees, eat some granola. I'm being facetious here, but the hippie is the one that maintains the vision and the values. All right. So you might be a hacker, you might be a hippie, and this is all going to start with you and your co-founder. So you want to fit these people in to the different parts of the quadrant. The next individual is the hustler. The hustler is the individual who's interested in sales. Okay. Sales. The hustler wants to go from 0 to 1. The hustler is always thinking, how do we sell this thing? It's the person that's going to the hacker and going to the hippie and say, you need to unleash the Kraken, let loose, the dogs of war. The barbarians are at the gate. Let's go out and make those sales. Let's close those deals. I want to increase traffic. They might become the chief revenue officer in the future. Who knows? Hardly matters at this moment in time, but they are all about traction, traction, traction. Everybody participates in traction, but the hustler is the one championing the traction and going to the rest of the organization saying, what are you doing to help me get more traction? Or what are we doing to get more traction? Whether it's automated traction, so there might be marketing and they're focused on customer acquisition and all that stuff, but they are hustling and they're selling the product like crazy, whether they have to go do hand-to-hand combat sales in the beginning, but they're hustling. And sometimes the founders, the great CEO, is a fantastic hustler, goes out and makes the contacts, has the sales, and that's including going out and getting investor leads, pounding that payment, hustle, 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 and just maintains that culture of execution and traction focused. So that's the hustler. The last person is the hipster. The hipster is the person who brings in the cool factor and focuses on the trends. And when I say hipster, I'm not talking about the person sitting in the corner playing kalimba and pouring sriracha over there and using all like the cool Gen Z words and saying this is cringe and that's mid and all those things. Yes, the hustler can be someone who helps everyone be cool and relevant, but the hipster is the individual who is looking out and saying, what are the trends? What's going on? So often the chief AI officer or the individual, like I put in a chief AI officer. I was explaining to my CEO the other day, I said, I'm your chief AI officer because I'm always scanning the horizon. I'm saying, what is the cool factor? What's cool and hot in terms of AI? What tools can we start to integrate? So I'm keeping us relevant. So that's what the hipster does. And the hipster might be someone who carries the brand and champions the brand and makes sure that everybody wants to come work for you because it's a cool place to be. So you want the hipster. So that's how it works. So you have the hacker, hippie, hustler, and hipster. Did I spell hippie right? That I'm just looking at it. And I just realized this looks like the Microsoft logo. It might be hippie with an IE. I don't know. I'm too lazy to go check that out, but I digress. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Hippie, spelling or not, spelling be damned. You want to have a hippie on your team. So the hacker is just hacking away. The hippie is taking care of vision and values. Hustler is moving traction, going out and getting the sales. And the hipster is just making sure everything is cool and on trend. All right. Looking out for the latest tools and what have you. So you want to start with you. So if you say, okay, I'm the hacker, well, then you don't need another hacker on the team. That's the overlap that you want to avoid as far as a co-founder is concerned, right? Now, I know many hackers who start off as the tech person, and then they still hire a CTO, and that's fine. But that person is a first hire, maybe part of the founding team, not a co-founder, because overlap can be dangerous because you tend to get focused or heavy in one area, and then execution doesn't occur in the other critical areas. So we like to say, we have a little bit of crossover. We all share the vision, mission, and values. We share the problem that we want to solve, but we don't want to have technical or skills crossover because then our team becomes redundant. All right. And then you start filling in the pieces. So take your team, or if it's just you, figure out where you go, take your team, figure out where everybody goes. And then you can start to think, all right, which other team members do we need to bring on, either as hires or maybe co-founders if you're in that situation? Just be careful. If you're bringing on people after the fact, then giving away equity and everything like that can be really expensive. So make sure you use your vesting schedules and your cliffs as far as people earning their ownership in the company if they come in as co-founders. But now what you can do is look for the advisor, all right? So an advisor can help fill in this quadrant in the meantime. So what type of advisor is a hacker? A hacker advisor is someone who's got technical experience. Let's say you're working in blockchain or something like that, and you as the founder or on your team, the hacker doesn't have a lot of experience in terms of tokenomics and security, blockchain security and things like that. Well, you can go get an advisor who specializes in that. And the great part about the advisor is they sign on and they agree with your problem and they want to be part of the solution, but they're just going to be an advisor and they're going to help you as far as the technical side that you may not be looking at. Next is the hippie. The hippie I often put the hippie in as the chairman of my board. All right. But if you just have an advisor, the hippie is the advisor that's always making sure you're doing okay, that you're staying grounded to the vision and values, that you're taking care of yourself, that the team cohesion is there, the culture is being built, and is willing to ask those questions. Or you can go ask that advisor question. Listen, I've got, team dynamics going on. How do I deal with this and how do I deal with that? The hustler, well, that just completely makes sense, is really pushing the organization and saying, hey, let me advise you on how to go get sales. Let me advise you even on how to rustle up investor leads and intros and all that good stuff. So the hustler has got a track record of hustling ventures, getting traction, going from 0 to 1, making those sales, exponential growth, etc. So a hustler advises you. And then a hipster is someone who might be like a maven. Okay, that type who's the guru who's looking out. I think of the hipster, like, for example, shoot, I totally forgot his name. Trey Parker, I think. What's his name? No, is that the South Park guy? The guy in, drop a comment. Tell me. I'm trying to think of this individual. Just totally lost my mind. But Mark Zuckerberg in the movie The Social Network. So it was the character played by what's his face, the NSYNC guy. Man, I am so out of it. I'm definitely not a hipster, right? And so it's the NSYNC guy, and he's going in there, and basically there's this scene where he says, drop the Facebook and just make it Facebook, right? And he's like egging Mark Zuckerberg on, and just making it cool and explaining this is what's going on in startup world and, everything like that, right? So always be thinking about, hey, does this advisor help us stay cool and trendy? And do they have the know? Are they in the know of what's going on in the industry or the tools that are going out there? And they will be your hipster. All right. So like I said, you figure out where your co-founders sit, and then you bring on advisors to fill out the roles. Now, there's nothing wrong if you've got the full Monty, you've got the hacker, hippie, hustler, hipster on your team. Great. And you want to build a board that's got advisory board that's got 4 people, hacker, hippie, hustler, hipster. Great. Do that as well. And then these individuals can help coach. And the best part is the hacker always has some insight to help the hipster, right? Or the hipster knows how to help the hacker. The hustler can go to the hipster and help us manage the brand and all these things. So there's always this collective intelligence that starts to occur, and sort of a network effect where everybody that participates makes the whole product better, which leads you to traction, which gets you to your revenue targets or leads you to investors and all that good stuff. All right. So there's your 4-quadrant model. Sit down, have fun with it. As you know, I'm a sucker for the H's there, but this is what was told to me when I was originally way back in the day. I think it was 2014-ish that I was launching my SaaS platform, and someone at a conference sat me down and explained, hacker, hippie, hustler, and I added hipster later on because of how fast things are accelerating in the startup world. All right. So there's your 4-quadrant model. All right. Continue on. As promised, let's move on. How do we deal with this? What's the reason I don't want you to hire co-founders or advisors that say I can raise you money and lead with that? It is a dangerous proposition and sets everybody up to fail. Let me explain the scenario. Let's start with the scenario. First, you're looking for advisors and what have you, and the advisor says, oh yeah, I believe in what you're doing, and I can get you investor intros. I can help raise you money and all that stuff. Which is great. You need that. I'm not poo-pooing that role or that need in your startup, but that alone should not be the way you make the decision. Same with a co-founder. I've seen co-founders come on, or individuals say, I should be a co-founder because just my name on this is going to bring in investment. All right. Or I'm going to be the co-founder and I'm going to raise the money for you. The same thing with founders that are the original founder, and maybe there's a reason they're a little scared, some gun shy, they're not comfortable raising money, or they think they don't have time and they want to work on the product. So what they do is they bring in someone as a co-founder and say, you're raising the money. That is a bad idea. Let me explain the reason. There is no way that anybody can tell you that they can raise money for a certain fact. Everything is changing so much. if someone is able to raise money for you, then and they have a high level of success, what have you, they're probably not going to be an advisor or a co-founder. They're probably working inside finance. They're working, as part of the VC industry, what have you. They don't have the time to be an advisor or a co-founder. In fact, their time is better served not doing those things. But if that's the case, then why would you bring them on an important role as a co-founder and an advisor, and a good advisor encompasses a whole bunch of different support roles that you need. And so let me break down 4 sort of titles or roles or functions that you should be thinking about that will help you with this. All right. So first, you've got your consultants. So consultants come in and they have expertise and they solve the problem for you, right? So you've got consultants. So if you need fundraising, hire a consultant, but don't give away equity or advisor shares or anything like that. Just bring in a consultant. In fact, I would recommend going on performance-based if they really believe in what they're doing, pay them a little bit of money for their time and then pay them a reward on the back end, right? Okay, the next thing is you've got coaches, right? And coaches are the ones that know how to do it themselves, but they help you. And here's the thing. I like to do a lot of coaching as an advisor. I will never promise a founder that I can raise the money. Can I raise the money? Yes, I can, but I never make that promise because there's so many factors and I'm managing expectations. I'd rather underpromise than overdeliver. So I'm more interested in coaching you as a founder how to go raise money. And this is the best part. The top founders don't need advisors or co-founders or staff people to make those introductions for you. A good co-founder can hear a name. So you have an advisor saying, you know what? I know so-and-so, just let them know that you know me and I referred you, and they will go lock down that lead and they will go close that sale. Great co-founders that they don't have to wait for anything. Right now, I may give you some coaching and say, this is how you might want to talk to them, et cetera, but go get it. Why? Because I'm not going to be around forever. The longevity of your startup and long-term success depends on you as the co-founder being able to raise money yourself. Can you get help? Yes, you can. But if you can't do it on your own and you can't demonstrate that, then beyond me or beyond the initial investors, you're never going to go far because it is a lifelong journey, the lifetime of your startup. You're always going to be raising money if you want to grow into that unicorn, baby unicorn, or rocket ship. You're going to be raising money, especially if you want to exit, right? And that's the important part. So you may get coaches to help you with this. The next thing is the trainer. The trainer is different than the coach, all right? The trainer actually runs a course. So you may want to get a training course and you may say, okay, this is fundraising. And a lot of platforms offer, like we have training courses at startups.com where you can go through the funding thing, right? And it's kind of a self-serve, do-it-yourself type thing. So you go through the training of it. That's what happens, all right? So, and those are all good. A lot of platforms provide training. And the last role is facilitator, right? The facilitator is like a consult, coach, trainer, but actually has a process to help you figure out how to do it. So they may come in, run a workshop for you, help you put your deck together, get you all going. So often trainers and facilitators are one and the same. But trainers, you can have sort of online self-serve, automated, like replicated type stuff, do it digitally. But facilitators actually come in and get with you and work and will workshop with you on how to go raise money. So that's what you do. So instead of bringing these individuals on as advisors or co-founders, think, can they be a consultant, coach, trainer, or facilitator? And that's how you handle it. Give them a performance incentive and cover yourself. Make sure, watch your back, and don't be taken advantage of by a lot of predatory wannabe co-founders and advisors that just want to jump on board onto something that's hot, especially if you're getting lots of traction, because they just want a good deal and they're being opportunistic. Like I said, it can be very, very predatory. All right. So that's all I got for now. Hopefully it was helpful to you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, whatever social media platform you're on, watching this sort of thing, do the social media thing. It really helps me out. I love hearing feedback. Check me out at startups.com. Join. I could be an advisor, run a cohort over there. And if you are part of startups.com, thank you very much. Or if you're part of our portfolio companies working with us, thanks for checking out this video. Hope it was helpful again. See you in the next one.